In the city of Baltimore, a local community with about 720,000 people, about 200,000 people are functionally illiterate or unable to read above a ninth grade level. This accounts for about a third of the city of Baltimore.
This is Bookworm Book Drive.
I'm Ava Zimmerman. I've been an avid reader ever since I was a little kid.
And my name is Kate Behe. I also have a love for reading. In fact, when I was a sophomore here at Springer Park, I participated in the Summer Reading Challenge and won.
Woo! So why is this a problem? This is a problem because 50% of those who are illiterate are unable to obtain a job and therefore unable to provide for their families.
How many of you guys grew up with parents instilling in you the passion to read? See a show of hands? Well, I know my parents did. I grew up on the Bob books, and in an impoverished community like Baltimore, where reading is not encouraged and books are not readily available, the interest rates for reading have exponentially declines.
For families that are impoverished or underprivileged, they're unable to provide books and education for their family to become literate. This causes a generation-to-generation cycle that affects everyone in their family.
This is why Ava and I have partnered together with the Maryland Book Bank to create the Bookworm Book Drive. The Maryland Book Bank was formerly housed by Baltimore Reads Incorporated, where that organization compensated for well over $14 million for books and money for students, teachers, and parents. In March of 2014, the organization was acquired by the Maryland Book Bank as a separate and non-profit independent organization.
The Maryland Book Bank continues to make an impact to today. Since 2018, the Book Bank has raised about $1 million in donations and $1.6 million in books and educational materials.
Today, the Book Bank offers scholarships and memberships for students aged preschool to high school, and now it offers mobile home services, including the Ravens Bookmobile. Its overall impact has increased from its initial cohort of 28 schools to now 100 schools.
Our goals are to collect 225 books to donate, to volunteer a combined total of 7 hours, and to make 90 inspirational bookmarks.
So why is literacy so important? Well, I actually worked on this project as a sophomore as well. So with my experience and our overall excellent communication with our advisors, this project will be nothing but smooth sailing.
Kate and I are both student athletes, so we understand the stress of school, extracurriculars, and sports. Therefore, we won't require a lot of your time, we just require that you have a good attitude when you come to every meeting.
Like I said, the importance of literacy is so evident in especially underprivileged communities because they don't have access to these materials. And through our projects, we will be smooth sailing in this and know how to get things done.
So what should you expect from us? Kate and I are very good communicators. You should expect constant communication and for us to want to have a passion with this project and for you to have a passion in the project.
So our project has the potential to make huge impacts within our community.
Consider joining Bookworm Book Drive
as we help improve literacy one book at a time.
Alright, so raise your hand if you sat down with your family this week and had a home-cooked meal together. See, while this might be a luxury to us, for others it might not be. I'm Avery Serpa.
And I'm Julie Dean, and we are Food for Thought.
So food insecurity is the condition in which an individual lacks access to healthy, nutritious food. But also, a common misconception about food insecurity is that it's limited to the access to food, but it doesn't take into account the families that rely on fast food. This is why it's really important to have families get the vital nutrients and organic foods that they aren't available to have.
10% of families in Maryland live below the poverty line. This contributes to the fact that 1 in 8 households lack access to healthy and affordable food. That means over 44 million people across the U.S. face food insecurity. Even more so, 1 in 20 of these households face severe food insecurity, meaning they skip multiple meals in a week. Also, 4 out of 5 food insecure families purchase unhealthy, nutrient-lacking food. This, in the long term, impacts both physical and mental health and can impact workability and have partnered with the Anne Arundel County Food Bank. The food bank was established in 1986 because there was only one other food bank that made it hard for residents in Anne Arundel County to access. So with the help of grants, it was established, and since then has established 115 distribution centers across the county to quickly and efficiently distribute food. This has helped to combat their mission of alleviating food insecurity within our county.
So some of our goals are to raise $300 in donations. This can look like a QR code on our collection boxes that we're going to put around neighborhoods, church groups, and in the school. Collect $150 worth of necessities, which can look like food and toiletries, and then 10 hours of volunteering, which would be organizing food, separating it at the campus, and then also packaging up food boxes for families. So some of our focuses are, after partnering with Anne Arundel County Food Bank, are soups and stews, canned fruits and vegetables, and canned proteins, as well as pasta and rice, beans, and those are all non-perishable and have a really long shelf life, as well as toiletries, like basic needs, toothbrushes, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, etc. And some of our meetings will look like making posters to put around the school to promote our Instagram and also our collection boxes, and we will also be making the collection boxes for donating food. And then volunteering will be another one of our meetings, which is the which would be then again making the boxes for the families, and then for our fourth meeting will be thank you notes.
So why us? Me and Avery are both part of multiple honor societies such as Rho Kappa, and we hold leadership roles in clubs such as FCA. We have both volunteered through church groups or soccer teams, and we've already started the volunteering process for this project. We totally understand you're busy. At the end of the day, we are both high schoolers who have done AP classes and done the high school sports, and we just want to have a fun and focused environment with a good line of communication to carry out this project.
Hunger is not an issue of charity, it is an issue of justice.
So please join us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And imagine walking to a classroom where the lights are too bright, the noise is overwhelming, and the materials are outdated. Now imagine this is the only classroom you've ever known. This is the reality for many students with special needs, where the inequality isn't just a statistic, it's a barrier to their learning and future.
The number you see on the screen is the amount of Americans that have a physical or mental disability. This is, as you can see, this is a large number, but these are the people we're trying to help.
I'm Lily Dietrich,
And I'm Charlie Coward.
and this is our project, Education for Everyone, partnering with the Cisco Center located in Severna Park, Maryland.
Lily, what's the Cisco Center?
The Cisco Center is a daycare and preschool for special education students. We focus on developing happy, socially well-adjusted children and providing positive learning experiences for their families. It was founded in 2008 by Mr. Cisco as a preschool summer camp for preschoolers, but it quickly grew to accommodate those 2 through 21.
So this is something about sensory learning.
What is sensory learning?
So sensory learning is using multiple senses for an educational purpose, like the taste, smell, touch, etc. And
Why is this so important?
the importance of this is that it targets different parts of the brain, which makes better neural connections and targets the focus for kids with special needs.
Why is our project so important?
So as we talked about earlier, there is a large portion of Americans with a mental and physical disability, and it's so important that they have accommodations to their education. And it's not only important that these accommodations are available, but it's important that they're affordable. And however, they're not, and so we want to help with that.
We have 3 goals for this project. Our first one is to collect $200 worth of adaptive equipment, volunteer for 8 combined hours, and raise $150 in donations.
So our first goal is to raise $200 worth of adaptive equipment, and we plan to do this by creating collection bins where people can directly donate sensory equipment to us. We want to sell bracelets at lunch to get money and use that for that equipment, and we also want to host a fundraiser with the parents and families at the Cisco Center.
Our second goal is 8 hours of volunteer work. We're going to host a cleanup event where we can actually go to the center and work there to better the environment. We're going to create a sensory nature walk, which allows the children to experience real life sensory. And we're gonna make weighted blankets and stuffed animals during Falcon Ball.
Our final goal is to collect $150 in donations, and we plan on doing this by hosting restaurant nights, advertising on social media. We're going to create an Instagram page, and then also sharing a link to donation with family and friends just to get more people helping.
Why are these donations so helpful? The monetary donations will go to equipment that can be used in the center, such as more libraries and a little sensory tent. Our volunteer work will be used to create a sensory nature walk where children can experience real life in sensory environments. And our adaptive equipment will be used to create a sensory room to help self-regulation.
So our goals for the dynamic of our group is to be flexible, fun, and focused. When it comes to flexibility, me and Lily are both student athletes with jobs, and we understand how hard it is to balance your social life, your school life, and on top of this, on top of all that, the project. So we plan to make it something where you can participate, but it's not going to take over a large portion of your life.
We also want it to be fun. We've been in groups and we understand that sometimes you don't want to do all the work. But we're going to have fun, engaging tasks. We're going to ask our group members to participate with us and bounce ideas off each other. We also have treats at every meeting. And finally, we're going to be focused. Charlie and I have both done a lot of volunteer work in the past, and we want to meet our goals and we want to make a difference. So why us? I work at the Cisco Center and I've been working there for about 7 months, and just seeing the difference you can make in a child's life is amazing.
And as Lily mentioned before, we have done volunteer work together, whether it be making sandwiches for the homeless shelter, going to a suicide prevention walk, or this past weekend making lunches for the Marine Corps Marathon. And then I also personally have experience with teaching kids when it comes to the basketball camp every summer the last 3 years.
We hope you join our project, Education for Everyone. Follow our Instagram.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, everyone in the room, raise your hand if you play a sport. Now I'd say it's mostly everyone in the room. Now, meet Sam. Sam loves to play soccer.
It's his favorite thing to do.
Oh, mic up. Turn your mic up.
Sam dreams of being a professional soccer player one day, but Sam has been sidelined due to his parents not being able to pay the cost it takes to play sports. And Sam and thousands of other children are not able to play sports due to this problem.
I'm Theo Scott,
And I'm Keaton Gorski.
and together we're gearing up greatness. So let's talk about some of the economic barriers that children face when playing sports.
Children from low-income families are nearly 3 times as likely to quit playing sports due to costs compared to their peers.
61% of families in the lowest income brackets cite sports as a barrier to sports participation.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic, nearly 40% of families have cited costs as a constraint to playing sports.
Kids who play sports have reported higher levels of self-esteem and lower levels of depression and anxiety. Additionally, kids who play sports are 4 times more likely to attend college, according to the NCAA. And lastly, kids who play sports are 40% less likely to develop a chronic illness later in life.
Now these facts stood out to Theo and I, and this is why we chose to partner with Level the Playing Field. Level the Playing Field's mission is to collect and distribute sports equipment to kids in need.
Founded in 2013, Level the Playing Field works to eliminate the problem of kids not being able to play sports due to financial barriers.
Since founded, Level the Playing Field has distributed over $17 million worth of equipment with the help of over 2,000 volunteers, benefiting thousands of children.
Now we have 3 main goals. Our first goal is to fundraise $220 to donate directly to Level the Playing Field.
Our next goal is to collect $200 worth of equipment, which I think will easily be done because people have lots of old sports equipment laying around in their homes. And our last goal is to volunteer for a combined 12 hours. Theo and I will do most of the volunteering, but we need your guys' help with collecting money and collecting sports equipment.
Yeah, we know as sophomores you guys have busy schedules, so we don't want to make this as fun and as stress-free as possible.
Now why Theo and I want to help. Theo and I both played sports growing up, and it's definitely important for our development.
Yeah, I played soccer, and Keegan plays basketball. Also, sports provide learning opportunities for skills like teamwork, discipline, and self-confidence.
Theo and I each had peers growing up miss out on playing sports or not be able to play a sport every season due to the high cost of sports, and they definitely missed out.
And lastly, this project aligns with me and Keegan's values of community and equity, and we know together we can make a difference.
Now, why should you help? By joining our group, you will eliminate the financial barriers it takes to play sports, and with your support, you will help ensure kids get the many benefits you get from playing sports, like enhanced academic performance, better overall health, and better social skills.
Like Helen Keller said, together we can do so little, but together we can do so much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever gone on a run before, just like in your neighborhood or anything. All right, a lot of you. So I know that might not be everyone's favorite activity to do. I know coaches like get online, you're like, oh my gosh. But unfortunately, this is not the case for a lot of people in America.
42 million people live with a mobile disability. These people do not get to experience the positive impact of going on a run or the feeling of accomplishment after finishing one. And although this may seem like a small issue, we want to put an emphasis on little things in life and show that everyone has the opportunity to live a happy and healthy lifestyle.
I'm Peyton Jeffers.
And I'm Abby Cover, and we are partnering with Athletes Serving Athletes. Peyton, what is ASA?
ASA is a nonprofit organization that strives to elevate the quality of life for those with limited to no mobility. They do that through something called a Wingman program. And what the Wingman program is people like Abby and I, or you guys, are running besides our athletes and take them through these mainstream running events. So this project, I know again, people hear running and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a lot more than just for running. We're doing this for the athletes, and we're trying to break down the barriers of inaccessibility that exist today. And there's a lot more ways to get involved than just being wingmen in this project. That includes being there at the water stations, there's face paint, we're gonna make posters so you guys can hold them during the runs, and much more. And by being part of this project, we're trying to build a community, support one another, and positively impact others who don't always get the opportunities that we do here.
Our goals are simple. We want to raise $300 in donations, make 20 posters, and volunteer for 13 and a half hours. We'll do this by reaching out to our friends and family to help with donations, as well as raising awareness on our Instagram. We will be using timely meetings to make fun and inspirational posters to then donate to the organization. And we are hoping to be able to attend in Annapolis an event at their Annapolis location. But don't worry, you don't have to be a runner to attend the event. Like Peyton said, you can help work at water stations, face paint, or just come and cheer and support all of the runners.
So you might be wondering why us, why this project? So me and Abby are, like many of you guys, multi-sport athletes at this school, and sports are our lives. Like, we have grown up around them, and we know how much of a positive impact it is on our lives, and we want to be able to share that positive impact onto others. So that's why we decided to choose this project. Being multi-sport athletes, we also understand the commitment that it is to have sports right after school, have all these projects and classes. So we're going to make these meetings super easy for everyone. We just ask that you guys are really enthusiastic when you decide to join our project.
We believe everyone can play a role in helping individuals participate and train in these mainstream running events. This project isn't just for athletes and runners. This project is to help promote inclusion. We want you to join us and help make more people feel included throughout our community today. Thank you.
Alright, so today we're going to start off with a little game, 2 truths and a lie. You probably played it, but we've got 3 facts here. 2 of them are correct, 1 of them is false, and you're going to help us decide. So the first one, Ronald McDonald House serves in 62 countries and regions. Secondly, there are 1,032 Ronald McDonald Houses worldwide. And finally, the Ronald McDonald House helps hundreds of thousands of people every year.
So you can only put 1, 2, or 3 on your hand for which one you think is the lie.
Freeze, choose, a little bit of everything.
So if you're holding up the 3, you are correct. Because not only hundreds of thousands of families, but it's millions of families that are helped each year.
I'm Jake Sobosinski,
And I'm Sam Blake.
and this is Helping Ronald McDonald.
So you might be wondering, like, why is our project needed? Every year in the U.S., there's $220 billion of medical debt, and the Ronald McDonald House in Maryland helps 2,400 people each year. And in the U.S. alone, there's 8.8% of families living below the poverty line.
So what is the Ronald McDonald House? So the Ronald McDonald House was founded in June of 1982 and wanted to bring families closer by focusing their attention on their sick children and not any of the other factors.
So what does our project do exactly? Their main focuses are housing, food, and access to medical care for the families with children in neighboring hospitals, such as Johns Hopkins and the University of Maryland.
So why is this valuable? The things they provide for these families can really help decrease stress and financial weight so they can bring these families closer and focus more on their children.
So our three main goals for this project are to first, collect $250 worth of Amazon wishlist items that will meet their basic necessities for these families. Also, we'll handwrite 50 cards with our kind words to direct their lives. And also, we're gonna raise $300 through an online link that will go directly to the house.
So what are our plans? We want to deliver all of our donations in person so we can feel the impact of what we're doing. We want to communicate and stay in communication with Ronald McDonald House. So if we need to adapt our plan at all, we can do that. And finally, we want to hold 4 meetings with you guys, and that's what we'll do the majority of our work. So at meetings, you guys will, we're going to make and decorate donation bins, and this is for collecting any of the wish list items or soda taps. We're going to use glitter glue, markers, anything to make them pop. Second, we're going to write and design cards, and these go directly to the family so we can really impact their lives directly. And lastly, we're going to create and repost Instagram posts to make our project known to our community.
And you can also help at home by sharing our online link with your family and friends, and also collecting toiletries and soda tabs. So you might be wondering, why choose us as your leaders? Well, when we were sophomores, we were in your shoes, choosing a project, and we actually chose this project to help out with. We had a great time. And also, we're both members of the National Honor Society, so we have to keep our good grades, and also we have experience helping around our community. And we're both athletes, so we know our schedules are busy, your guys' schedules are busy, the classes and sports, so we're really understanding about that.
So come and support our project, give a hand any way you can. If you'd love to join us, we'd love to have you, but if not, we would love any donations or anything like that.
With your help, we can continue keeping families close.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Raise your hand if you've been camping before, right? Pretty average American tradition. What about camping in like the bitter cold? You get in your sleeping bag and you're not warm. The people who've done there, people who've been there can tell you it's a really scary experience being the victim to the elements. It's terrifying when you just can't get warm no matter how hard you try.
And while you guys have the luxury of being able to choose to do this, most people, or the homeless people around here in our community, do not have that luxury of even trying to be able to bundle up with whatever coats or sleeping bags they have.
I'm Owen Kress.
And I'm Brandon Chisholm.
And we are Operation Cozy.
Do you know that there's more than 30,000 homeless people in Maryland alone?
It's true. Not to mention that being homeless comes with many adverse side effects, such as major psychological damage, because if you're too busy worrying about putting food on your plate, you can't worry about who you are or making relationships. It's also exposure to criminal activities and addictive substances, not to mention high risk of suicide for homeless teens. Worst of all, there are hundreds of deaths annually to hypothermia and hyperthermia, that is, overheating or freezing to death.
To really think about that, like with the freezing winter we're about to have up here, and the fact that they don't have the correct or the good amount of clothing or good clothing in general, good quality, to be able to survive that. Or the hot summer like we just had, over 100 degrees, sweating and not being able to go inside an AC and cool down is a huge problem.
That's where we come in. Happy Helpers for the Homeless is a local organization based in Baltimore City and Glen Burnie areas. They have a community impact, doing their best to serve over 1 million lunches to date, right? They do clothing drives and they provide amenities like haircuts and other services to homeless people who might not be able to afford it otherwise. Happy Helpers also has a global impact. There are chapters in Asia, in Europe, Africa, they're everywhere, serving the homeless and their communities.
But what are our goals? So our first goal is to raise $200 in monetary donations.
Our second goal is 14 hours of service. We're going to be on the front lines fighting the problem of homelessness. We'll probably be passing out lunches, maybe making lunches, passing out clothing. We'll see.
And our third goal is to grab whatever clothes you have, the ones that don't fit, whatever clothes in the back of your closet, back in your drawers. You can bring those in and give them to us and hopefully raise $200 worth of clothing as well.
But who are we? I'm Owen Tress. I'm an Eagle Scout. I've got tons of fundraising experience off of projects like Dr. Love. I've been in your shoes once too. I was an all-county musician, right? So I know what it's like to have a busy schedule. I also once ran a 5-minute mile in Crocs. That's true.
And I'm Brandon Chisholm. I am the leader of Puzzle Club and Ska Club. You should join, but I digress. I've also been in the theater and sports sides of the school. So again, I know what it's like to have a busy schedule. We will be very accommodating to your schedules. And I can also name the Beatles songs within 1 second of them being played.
So what would it look like to be part of Operation Cozy? First of all, meetings with us are going to be fun, right? We're going to have music and food and friends. It's going to be a great time when you come along for the ride.
And also, you've helped out your community. While those days where you're at home and you just feel like you haven't done much, well, with us, we'll be able to show you how much of an impact you've had just on the community around you.
Club meetings will consist of poster making for clothing drives we're going to have. We're going to be doing some organization, and we're going to learn about the problems in our local areas, like homelessness.
It's not just us that need you, they need you.
Join Operation Cozy today and make a difference in your community. Thank you.
Brands. Now keep your hands up if you own items from any of these brands.
Well, the reality is, many people can't afford clothes from anywhere.
Options that you might see as cheap or affordable are still out of reach for many. I'm Kate Humphrey,
And I'm Lila Alpert.
and this is our project, Living Linda's Legacy.
In Anne Arundel County alone, around 500 people experience homelessness. Around 6,000 people have experienced homelessness in Maryland, and over 650,000 people experience homelessness day to day, daily.
The most requested items for homeless shelters are socks, warm clothing such as jackets and pants, as well as toiletries. Limited access to these items can result in low self-esteem as well as mental health issues that can make it harder to recover and bounce back from homelessness.
So the organization we're partnering with is called Giving Back Linda's Legacy. This organization started with the founder, Linda Greenberg, when she gave her hat to a homeless person. She started a clothing drive in Annapolis and expanded further to many other places in Maryland. And today, she has over 500 volunteers and donates to dozens of local shelters.
The mission of Giving Back Linda's Legacy is to help our local homeless population in a responsible and respectful manner. They also want to inspire other young people to volunteer just like they've inspired Lola and I.
So our 3 goals are going to be to raise $200 or more, make 50 kindness cards for the homeless, and donate $350 worth of clothing. And we'll do many different clothing drives, and Kate and I will be donating these clothes in one of the Giving Back Linda's Legacy's organization in Baltimore, and you guys are welcome to come with parent permission.
In order to achieve these goals, we need your help. Your role in our project would include helping us advertise by making Instagram posts as well as posters for around the school, helping us fundraise and collecting clothing donations, as well as helping us reach our goal of creating 50 kindness cards. We understand you guys are busy and you have sports, school, and jobs to balance, so we're going to try to get most of our work done inside of our chopping block meetings, but some of the fundraising might require effort outside of school.
You may be thinking that's a lot of work. Why us? Well, when Kate and I were sophomores, this was also our project and we wanted to continue the effort. If any of you know Savvy Consignment in Severn Park, I worked there and would be able to get many donations from there to help the effort.
And we know sophomore year can be a little stressful, so we'll provide sweet treats at every meeting that we have. And lastly, but most importantly, everyone should be able to access clothing no matter the situation.
So join us today to make a local impact on our homeless population.
Even if our project isn't your first choice, please consider following our Instagram and sharing our posts. Thank you.
1 and 3, a proportion with a lot of backstory. Hi, I'm Bella Van Giesen,
And I'm Mary Huston.
and we are partnering with Share Baby to create SP Shares.
Share Baby was created 10 years ago by Kristen Finkelstein and Maya Evans.
1 in 3 children in Baltimore have a lack of diapers, a basic hygienic item.
You might be wondering, what is the problem?
Families are struggling to provide basic baby essential care items to their children, and let alone afford food and other necessities.
25,000 newborns and toddlers in Baltimore live in poverty, and to this day, that number continues to grow.
Our goals.
We hope to raise a minimum of $200 and volunteer at least 14 hours at the warehouse, which Bella and I have already got that started this summer. We need you to help us collect baby items to help make baby baskets that we can then donate to the warehouse. And we just need you to spread awareness about the problem that's going on in Baltimore, Maryland, and spread awareness about the organization.
And again, we want to make big emphasis on collecting baby items because that is what Share Baby really needs. This is Erin and I in the summer when we volunteered and went to the Share Baby warehouse located in Baltimore to collect and drop off our donations. We sent out an email to our neighborhood and created a Share Baby box in the middle image that's blue that we can move from location to location. And we had to take 2 cars because we got so many things.
We received this link from the Share Baby organization for multiple dates in September that they need volunteers in the warehouse. So Bella and I hope to go up at least once or twice in September, and we hope you guys can come whether you join our group or you don't. How can you help?
We need help raising money to reach our goals. And like I said before, it's collecting baby items. That's what this organization needs the most. And if you win and when you come to volunteer with us, you can see that the warehouse is filled with baby items. And they have these huge bins that you can fill up as many as you can to help provide for these families.
We need you to stay connected with us as we are going to stay connected with you. We need you to come visit the warehouse with us if you're able to. We understand if you're not able to though. And we just need your help to come to Falcon Blocks and make baby baskets. But don't stress, this project is going to be super fun.
Attend as many meetings as you can and try to join with your friends. We aren't too serious and we're really flexible so we can accommodate for you and your time. Why us? We are organized and efficient. Erin and I have been friends for years and we play sports, so we are on the same schedule. We're both leaders in clubs that we are a part of, and we really want to make this as efficient and easy as possible for you.
Bella and I are both very passionate about this cause. It has a special place in our heart. I work at the Cisco Center right down the street, which is a special needs daycare. I'm also part of the CDA program at the school where I teach the preschool, and I also babysit.
I also babysit, and my mom is a teacher for a school for teen parents, so this cause is very near and dear to my heart, seeing those that are affected in the lower income communities.
And yet again, our Falcon Box will be fun. There'll be sweet treats there, so we hope you guys can come. And so please consider us joining our group.
Follow us on Instagram at spshares24.25, and you'll check off the first tick on our box.
Thank you.
Picture. You all join me in closing our eyes. Alright, picture this. It's Thanksgiving morning, the smell of fresh turkey, fresh food being prepared, grandma and grandpa, your cousins, uncles, aunts, all coming over to celebrate. The house bustles with laughter and joy as we're all creating memories for the holidays.
34 million. That's the number of adults in America that have food insecurity on Thanksgiving. That's nearly 1 in 10 in the United States alone.
I, Jordan Ali, and
I'm Will Bresson.
Want your help to help us sprint into success as we introduce you to our initiative, SP Turkey Strike. It's a race for fun.
So here we are.
YS Central Maryland, which is an organization that wants nothing more than community and equal opportunity for all people to improve your well-being. The heck? YMCA over here talking about that.
The YMCA yearly holds the Turkey Trot, which is a race. It's a 5K race that we run all the way around, I think, Maryland. And this race provides towards meals and fundraisers that will gather equipment. They'll be used to help fund people during the scarce of food during the holidays.
On another note, local sources report that Marylanders, 750,000 people, it's a quarter of a million, suffer from food insecurity. And 220,000 of those are children. That's 1 in 6. And that's just not okay. Mainly during Thanksgiving as well. And 8% of students here at Serrano Park are economically disadvantaged. So it's not just in our neighboring communities.
Many people through Thanksgiving go without a meal, and that's kind of very sad. SB Turkey Trot is being made to help provide hope for people throughout the holiday and also give them a meal so they can enjoy.
So our goals are to volunteer for 14 hours for Turkey Trot. And you can join us in doing that. We need 190 more in monetary donations, and we can do those by setting up our little fundraising websites, which we will link. And we'll have $200 worth of food donations, which we'll do through donation bins around the school. You guys will all create.
How will we do this? How will we accomplish it? And to me, apparently, I'm big on communication. We'll do that through either Snapchat, Instagram, or just regular messaging. We'll create group chats and help reach you guys. Also, I'm really big on resilience. I know we all make mistakes, and I feel if we have open communication and that resilience and learn from our problems, we'll do better. In transparency, I believe in having, if you got something to do, I know you sophomores are really busy. If you guys have anything, I'll help you out. I, Jordan, personally have been going through the YMCA for about 2 years right now, and I love their mission. They project themselves on people accomplishing goals and having a better lifestyle. Because I know we all have been through that place where we had that one time in our life when we were struggling. Also, me will have been through 2 leadership classes and have assisted in helping to run 2 leadership 3 projects such as this one, which is why we are going to be a big success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A populated area like California, Texas, New York City, and on every corner are multiple homeless animals due to shelter closures as a result of overcrowding. Although it's not as prevalent in Maryland, there are still numerous animals that are suffering from a lack of quality of life. This year alone, 96,000 cats and dogs have entered local shelters, and due to that large number, they lack multiple volunteers and basic resources, such as medicines, vaccines, dog beds, and blankets. We believe that all animals deserve a comfortable life without being in fear of sleeping without a roof over their head or missing a meal. My name is Ryan.
My name is Brooke, and we are Paws for Paws. When I was around 2 years old, we got our dog Ginger. She was rescued from under an abandoned porch in North Carolina. And since then, she's been a part of our family, and I couldn't imagine life without her. Knowing that she was once in those unsafe conditions, I am motivated to help other rescue animals and animals sent to shelters.
Now, I also have a lot of experience with animals as I've been living with them my entire life. When I was born, my mom already had 3 poodles that she rescued, and as of right now, I have 2 golden retrievers and 1 bulldog, and on the screen is one of my golden retrievers, Jimmy Choo, and then my bulldog, Lola. Now, because I've lived with them my entire life, I'm confident that I know what it takes to properly care and treat for them, and also just helping grow my passion for them and animals in general, and I hope to throw that into my project. And this past weekend, I had the opportunity to visit SPCA's orientation, and I just got a little more info on how passionate they themselves are about the project and how much they benefit the community, and I'm confident with your guys' help that we can have a strong impact on the organization.
So we chose SPCA. These are pictures of me when I was younger.
in front of our house, we would have lemonade stands, and every single dollar that we made was sent directly to the SPCA. This picture is us going to the SPCA and getting little diplomas for donating, and it just felt really good to help out these animals and give them the stuff that they needed. Additionally, I worked with my mom and actually volunteered officially there. I walked the dogs and hung out with the cats. And I'm excited to reopen this project with all of you guys and my partner Ryan.
Now, you might be thinking, what is SPCA all about? Now, SPCA, or the Society to Prevent Cruelty to Animals, is a safety net for vulnerable cats and dogs. They focus on providing quality health care and also strengthening the bond between humans and animals in their shelters. They also offer foster and adoption services for temporary and long-term housing. And the primary goal is to ensure the well-being of all cats and dogs living in their shelters, and not only come second nature to us as pet owners ourselves.
Alright, so our goals and stuff that you guys will be participating in or helping us with is $245 in donations, 7 hours of volunteer work, which mostly will be me and Ryan going to the shelter and such, but we strongly encourage all of you guys to reach out and try and volunteer there because it was really good experience and it looks good for your leadership 3 future endeavors. And lastly, we're gonna get a collection of food cans, towels, and blankets, and we're gonna set this stuff around the neighborhoods and communities and the school, and just try and get as much as possible to help these animals.
And that's all right. During your meetings, we plan on keeping them short and sweet while keeping you updated on everything that's going on, whether it's donation events, fundraisers, volunteer work. You're always going to be in the loop. Now, as former leadership students, leadership 1 and 2, we understand and appreciate the value of having all the resources allocated to you to become a leader yourself. And we want you guys to be completely prepared for when you're in our positions and you're doing this project. So we want to make sure that we're going to be helping you every step of the way. So you will have all the resources to be able to do what we're doing right now.
Thank you guys so much for coming out and listening to us. We strongly encourage you to follow us on our Instagram and just follow along with our project. Thank you.
And
How many of you have more than $2 in your bank account? That is 10 cents more than what 100 million people worldwide are surviving off of day to day after paying their medical expenses.
We are Alethea Brown
And Jessica Boyd,
and we want your help with our project, Railroad Remedy. We plan to help people who struggle with medical and health-related expenses, because this is a problem that is not only seen on a global scale, but also in our own area, especially in low-income communities like Baltimore.
so why this project and especially why now? Well, if the first statistic wasn't staggering enough, 100 million people worldwide are suffering from extreme poverty because of these healthcare expenses. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, only 50% of people even have access to essential services. And for the people that do, 800 million of them have to take out 10% or more of their household budget to pay for these said expenses. That is why Alethea and I are hoping that with Railroad to Remedy, we may be able to alleviate some of the financial burden that these healthcare expenses are having on these families, and help these families find the support and comfortability and stability that every human being deserves.
That is why we chose to partner with Orphan Green Train. This nonprofit organization provides disaster relief, humanitarian aid, and food to people in need across 69 countries. They are nonprofit, and also a Christian volunteer network that gathers supplies, food, money, and clothing to donate to people in the U.S. as well as around the world.
Alethea and I are incredibly passionate about decreasing healthcare discrepancies and disparities. Our goals for this project include fundraising $280, volunteering for at least 8 hours, and collecting $200 worth of donations. We will be looking for medical supplies such as canes, walkers, wheelchairs, and feminine hygiene products.
What would joining our project entail? Well, we plan to fundraise through community outreach and to educate people on Orphan Green Train's mission, as well as to hold a donations drive and contact organizations for donations. We also want to hold a volunteering event where all of our group would go to the Orphan Green Train warehouse, although of course our group members would not be mandated to attend because we know you're busy. We also will advertise on social media and create posters, and we want to have fun while we help out this great cause.
So why join this project? Well, you can choose your level of involvement. Whether you want to attend every single fundraising and volunteering event that we hold, or you simply want to share a post on social media in support for our project and or Orphan Grain Train's mission, we appreciate any support that you're willing to offer. Alethea and I are incredibly committed and passionate individuals, and we know that with your help, we can make this project a success. In fact, we already have the ball rolling and have been volunteering with this organization over the summer.
One way for anyone to get involved, whether you join our project or not, is Orphan Grain Train's bowling fundraiser. It will be held this Saturday, September 14th, from 5 to 7 p.m. at Severna Park Lanes. It costs $45 which covers 2 games, as well as tree rentals and food. And if you're not interested in bowling, you could also still attend and support Orphan Grain Train and our project, and also get food for $30. If you're interested, you can register at www.ogt.org/MD, or you can just come see us and we will share more information about this event.
Thank you so much for listening, and please help us make a positive impact in our community. Also, follow our Instagram @WeAreLivingToRemedy.
Yeah!